This year we're making an award to 3 different regional clusters, each of which for $500,000. And one of those is the APEG program here in Eastern Ohio. And the clusters program is really meant to take regional organizations where small businesses are trying to work in a particular industry and bring them together with other private and public sector entities to really create an ecosystem of support so that they find it a little bit easier to succeed in those fields.
The Appalachian Regional Commission put together a pool of funds that would attach to Small Business Administration and Economic Development Administration funding under the POWER initiatives. We'll be receiving $75,000 to support the wood products cluster through the Appalachian Partnership for Economic Growth. We're going to focus on small entrepreneurs and wood products businesses, try to get closer to the ground and into the grassroots in our farming and forestry communities.
What APEG has put together makes a lot of sense because you have a region where the wood products opportunities significantly overlap with where a lot of the coal production has been. When you look at the type of worker that might need an opportunity after losing an opportunity in the coal industry, wood products provides a pretty good fit.
The industry already has about 24,000 jobs in the region, particularly in the furniture manufacturing arena. And it does that while we still export most of our logs in their lowest value form. And so we have a tremendous opportunity to drive more of the value that's created from this indigenous renewable product back into the region to sustain the people who've lost other opportunities.
The cluster model really, I think, leverages the ability for those small businesses to take advantage of those opportunities much better than they might be able to do on their own. There's been a renewed interest in the last several years to try to make sure that we're taking care of and supporting American manufacturing because we find that there are actually really good opportunities to reverse the flow on a lot of that manufacturing and not only provide Americans with more products made in the United States and manufactured in the United States, but also then to turn those into export opportunities. And you know, on the one hand, you've got this global convening coming together around lowering export burdens. And so we're at a moment, I think, where so many of those barriers are going to be simplified, or as the United States is a part of those trade deals, that small businesses are going to find it easier to take those products and send them overseas.
And the network clusters that we've already begun to develop are doing that quite well and lay a great groundwork for that. And our Appalachian hardwoods are the most sought after hardwoods in the world. We have the opportunity to make world-class products here out of them rather than shipping them overseas to have those products made. There are actually 2 databases that are part of this initiative. The first is a database of suppliers, and that's going to be a very important part because it helps us understand who's out there, what their capabilities are, where we can put together capabilities and with different kinds of technologies, different kinds of products to make a finished product that has a higher market value. The second database, and one that will be produced from scratch with this project, is one that focuses on export opportunity. We will be providing more than 1,000 qualified leads to the companies within our region that are working in this sector so that it makes it easier for them to sell into the export markets around the world. We've already identified instances where businesses within this region are going hundreds or thousands of miles away for components and products they need in order to finish their manufacturing processes when they don't know that they can get them 20 miles down the road. And these databases will make a huge difference with that.
We look at a few things, diversifying incomes and household incomes because people have land or access to land and resources, and how do you turn those into products and move those along. Many ways to do that, but also just thinking about going as close to the ground as you can to engage people and their ideas, and being willing to spend the time to really till up those ideas and support individuals, because you don't really know who the next entrepreneur is going to be. And if they have an idea, how do you support them to connect to markets? And in rural places, very often, it does have to be that collaboration. Small businesses have to work together to meet that bigger demand, because once they step into those bigger, hardwood building construction projects that want a whole lot of millwork or a whole lot of flooring, they're in a different league and a different scale. And so that collaboration and fostering those networks are critical.
Yeah, ownership is really everything to the sustainability of a rural economy. When you've got locally owned businesses that are run by people who deeply care about the place, that want to be in the place, they're much less likely to depart when times get tough.
You're investors.
Or when there might be something that looks like a greener pasture on the other side of the fence.
Wood and forests are renewable resources. We have incredible biodiversity. The more we have demand for products, and in international markets, sustainability certifications are really important. People want to know that we're managing our forests well, that demand for wood products can actually drive down incentives to the landowner to do the kinds of forest management that we need.
And that's very consistent with our mission at APEG, which is to foster enduring, widely shared prosperity across Appalachian Ohio. The enduring part and the widely shared part are really the sustainable part. The idea that we will work with the resources that are going to be here not only today but tomorrow, and work with them in ways that, that spreads that prosperity as widely as possible across the community so the whole region's economy uplifts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's just obvious to almost anybody that when you have that personal initiative and that's what you're following up on and being supported rather than somebody else's idea of what you should be doing, I mean, that's sort of the core of sustainability and people who will fight to maintain those. And then when you set them in communities where people have grown up and they have their friends and they have their family, that's the key of that.